great opportunity to all the psychologists, and we have to celebrate it. Really, you have to celebrate it. So the thing is that why this has happened and what are these things is UN recognized the impact of psychology on global issues. This is very important and dedicated a day for psychologists in uh, by UN. That's a very great thing which the psychologists had an opportunity to interact internationally and contribute to global issues. This is an opportunity for all the psychologists. It happened in 2007. It was started, and this is the 18th Psychology Day. 18th UN Psychology Day, where what do they do? In UN Psychology Day, all the international psychologists and diplomats, UN officials, and other allied subjects people meet there, and they discuss about the contributions of psychology to global issues. How the psychological principles, psychological scientific findings and practices and interventions can be used to address to address the global issues. This is the main purpose of this Psychology Day, where it is, this is mainly the psychology is recognized to address global issues. This is the main point. The psychology is recognized by UN to address global issues and to enhance the mental health. The insights of psychology will shape the healthier societies, supports human rights, and helps to develop mental health. So, and the vital role psychology plays is in shaping the healthier societies, and peaceful, resilient, and compassionate world. This is most important. Peaceful, resilient, and compassionate world. So this is the main goal of UNO. It addresses all the problems of the entire world, and we were also taken as part of that. All of us should feel proud of that and celebrate this UN Psychology Day. So here what happens is the discussion, seminars, and all this will happen during this process of UN Psychology Day at the UN, along with other scientists and international psychologists, and they will try to find out the ways and how to attribute the psychological principles for global issues. This is the main concept. So in this way, from last 18 years, we are they are giving one theme for discussion, and they are discussing, panel discussions will take place, and seminars will take place, and so many things will take place for 4 days, and then on Psychology Days, and then later on the proceedings will be used for addressing the global issues through psychological principles. So this is the thing what is happening from all the 18 years. Every year they are giving a theme. This year also they have given a theme. So this is from crisis to growth. This is the theme. This is the main theme, to build resilience. From crisis to growth. This is the important thing which you have to understand. What is the crisis situation and how it converts towards growth. So everybody knows the crisis, every individual, every society globally, crisis is a very natural phenomena which occurs in different areas. You will get crisis in political areas, in natural disasters will happen, earthquakes. At personal level, so many crisis situations, the individual experiences, the community's experiences, and globally all the countries' experiences. Very recently, we had an experience of corona throughout the world. This is the global crisis. Like that, sometimes each country's community is undergoing so many crisis situations. crisis, having crisis is part of life. Even individual life, they used to experience crisis. When a crisis situation occurs, the individual or group innately tries to adapt to the situation. It tries to adapt to the situation. So, if by taking another channel, by modifying the existing situation, or taking the totally another way, it tries to adapt itself to the crisis situation. The people are the communities which are able to adapt well will sustain and they will grow. The people or the communities which are not able to adapt to the crisis situation will perish. As all of us know that. All of us know that. So, crisis is a condition which makes us to grow. This we don't invite crisis, but crisis situation occurs we without our knowledge. Sometimes floods, earthquakes, natural calamities occurs, war, man-made, like that. So many things happens in the society which creates worry, agony, sadness, and all the things. If you are able to adapt and change your way, you can bounce back from this crisis situation. You are pushed towards growth. You are pushed towards growth. So resilience is part of resilience. You have to bounce back from the crisis situation, then the growth automatically occurs. So this is the situation which is there at present at global level. So what psychologists are thinking is not making the people, prepare the people or make the people ready to face any crisis situation, because this what happens is in any crisis situation, so this is a society which is having so many uncertainties are having in the society at present because of the development which is taking place, rapid development which is taking place. So many uncertainties are having in the society, natural calamities as personal level. So many things are happening. So in this society, so in this scenario, it is the responsibility of the psychologists to prepare the people for the crisis situation. One of the preparating way is to develop resilience. So that is the way. If you are resilient, that is bounce back from the crisis situation and grow to, and if you forward towards growth, that is the resilience the people should develop. How to develop resilience? By using, this is the main aspect which we are going to discuss. And there are many psychologists. What is our role in developing resilience in the society? So whatever, even though it is a global issue of resilience, it should start with an individual, community, and then global level. These three levels are important. So hence you have to start about the resilience building in the first in the what is this individual level? How to develop resilience at the individual level? So lot of resilience research is going on. Everybody knows that. Lot of resilience research is going on throughout the world. And in this latest research, they have found to develop resilience among the people. What are the things which you have to take care of? If you are of these things, you can spread this message among the youngsters, among the adolescents, and among the elderly people. Everybody needs resilience. Everybody undergoes crisis at one point or other in their lives. How to come out of that is important. So here we have to use certain adaptive system for resilience. So what is the adaptive system you have to use to develop resilience? The very first thing is, this is using our brain and learning. the first adaptive system is learning problem solving abilities. Learning problem solving abilities is the first adapted system which you have to develop and you have to promote it among students. Problem solving technique doesn't mean only mathematics. There are social problems, there are personal problems, so many problems will come. Problem solving ability is important, not preparing ourselves when there is a problem. You have to prepare yourself. You should be well versed in problem solving abilities. All of us know how a systematic problem solving ability is being inculcated among students. This is very important. Problem solving doesn't mean always teaching them the mathematics. It is not teaching mathematics. We are studying about behavior. So, how to develop problem solving skills? This is important. Developing problem solving skills among the people, which is the base for resilience. Which is the base for resilience. So, in our day-to-day experience, we can see many of the students are committing suicide. Many of the elders who are having a lot of problems, financial problems, are committing suicides. But so many reasons people are committing suicides. So why they are committing suicides? They are not able to solve their problems. When a problem occurs, the general tendency of people is they look at the problem. They try to analyze why this problem occurred to me. Why this problem occurred to me. They try to analyze the problem, but they don't look for the solution. But any problem, solution occurs. But people are emotionally filled, hence they look only about the problem and worry about that, and they don't look at the solution. Because if you don't look at the solution, you don't get the solution. Your worry increases, your depression or whatever is that which increases, impulsiveness increases, emotionality increases, you will do some of the things which are like suicides or some of the things which they are committing. So, problem solving abilities are very, very important for social problem. How to do this problem solving ability? I'll tell you this, everybody knows that, but still I will make you to recollect all the 4 steps. We have to, first you have to analyze the problem. Why it is emotionally, we should not do that. We should do it in a calm way. Why? You have to describe the entire problem. Why this happened? What are the precedents of this problem? What happened? You have to describe not in one sentence. You have to describe the entire problem so that you will understand the problem first. Understanding the problem is the first step for problem solving. After understanding, definitely you will find some solutions. Whether every solution is having some advantage as well as some disadvantage. You will get a number of solutions for a problem. No, not single solution. You can solve the problem in number of ways. Number of ways you will get. You will get 3 or 4 solutions, let me say. Suppose you are having, most of the adolescent children used to have that love affairs and parents won't accept that. This is a problem most of the adolescents used to face, financial burdens, like that. These are the common things. So in these things, you have to understand the problem. What are the ways to come out of the problem? Second step is the solutions. You have to write down the solution. If you put it on paper, you will have more clarity. More clarity. So that write down all the solutions, and then third step, you have to evaluate each solution. What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages? Every solution has advantage as well as disadvantage. Without disadvantage, you don't find any solution at all. So you evaluate yourself, you evaluate among the solutions which is more suitable with less disadvantages to you, then you try to execute it. Whether you are successful or not, that is a different story. Try to execute it. Try to execute it. If you fail, go for another solution. Go for another solution. Hence, this is in problem solving ability. What you have to do is, you have to understand the problem, You have to find the solutions for the problem, evaluate each solution and select one solution and adapt it. So this is the problem solving ability that children or adolescents or people, whoever is that in community, should be taught with an imaginary problems. Imaginary problems will be given to them and asked to solve what is the best solution for this in this circumstance. Then we are habituated to solve the problems of other persons. It is easy for us to solve the problems of other persons, for anybody. If it is mine, the emotion will be there. If it is others' problem, I don't have emotion, I will try, I will follow all these steps and I will. So if I am habituated to solve these problems like this, I can do, even in a situation, I also will try to solve my problem. So this creates resilience. This is one of the steps. It should be popularized by us, more giving of the problems, imaginary problems. They will be practicing or show them the models who are resilient. So this is one of the technique which we can use to develop resilience in individuals. Then there is the research also proven that the research showed that there are attachment system is important. Attachment system means, where in attachment system means, if you are attached to the people, you will have more resilience. How do you develop attachment? In the present scenario, students are moving with other people, but we don't have attachments. We are moving with many people. We are associating with many people, but we don't have any attachments. How to develop attachments? Of course, all these are there innately in us, but because of the rapid social conditions, we are not able to follow them, and we are running after the works or whatever is that. We are not able to nurture those qualities which are there within us. So how to develop attachment? So psychology is a subject which gives methods. All of you might be knowing how to develop attachment with people. There are mainly 3 aspects you can develop attachment. By caring the other person. Caring doesn't mean that you can say, had your meal is caring. Had your breakfast. How are you is caring. So asking about them, about their personal thing, not intruding into them, but you have to care them. Caring them. This is caring. Caring is very important. You have to care the people. Respond to them is caring. Responding to the other person is caring. Number 1, caring. Sharing enhances attachment. Whatever you are having, your food or whatever, if you share with somebody, it enhances attachment. Caring, sharing, helping. When there is small things, helping doesn't mean big aspects. Even in small things, helping enhances our attachment with the person. So you are more attached. For example, I tell you, the children are more attached to mother because she helps her. She saves everything. She cares. Caring, sharing, loving. Caring, sharing, loving, helping. These 4 enhances attachments. Most of the positive psychology research proved that these are the things which are important. Being empathetic is also another thing. Empathetic means understanding the other person. This enhances our attachment. If more people are attached to us, we are more happy. Naturally, we feel more happy if more people are attached to us. We don't feel loneliness at all. How do they get? Whatever you want, you have to work for that. Nothing in the world will come without doing anything. Automatically, nothing comes. You have to work even for attachments. Unless I share, unless I care, I don't get attachment with anybody. Not by relations, we don't get attachment. And you have to do all these three for developing attachments. So this is attachment theory. If you are having attached with people, your resilience increases. You will come bounce back in your crisis situations. This is the second thing. You will bounce back in the crisis situation if you are attached to somebody, attached to many people. If you are having so many people are with you, then it will be, you will come back. Then coming to the third thing is motivational system. Motivational system means it is what is that? This you can say that self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is the motivational system. Self-efficacy means having all the abilities is not sufficient. Having abilities is not sufficient. Having skills is not sufficient. Having skills and also if you have a confidence about the skills, whatever you are having. I'm having skills and I'm confident about my skills, which means that I feel that I can do this. Only having knowledge and skills is not sufficient unless you had self-efficacy means self-efficacy, which means that having confidence. I am having skills and I am confident about my skills. Then I can pursue any of the things. Then I can start doing on that. It helps me to for resilience. And then self-regulation system means self-regulation means not impulsive, managing your regulating your emotions. Regulating your emotions. So these are the systems which are being identified by research as the most important systems for resilience. So you have to, as a psychologist, who try to inculcate these systems in the among the students, among the people, so that we will be satisfied, we feel comfortable, and we feel that we will bounce back in crisis situations and we'll be happy. These attachments. So the problem solving ability, I'm again concluding for individual level, the problem solving abilities and your attachments by what you have developed through your caring, sharing and helping, and your self-efficacy, having skills and confident about your skills, and also your emotional regulation. This and the most important thing, stress management. These are the 5 important things which are responsible for your resilience. Self-management, stress management techniques. What do you do for stress management technique? All of you might be knowing. For stress management, I will tell you 3 A's and 3 A's. Means one is your stress usually occurs when because of environmental conditions. If not because of environmental condition, if I evaluate the environmental condition as dangerous or as threatening, then only the stress process starts in me and my body reacts, my psyche reacts, and my behavior also changes. So stress is not because of the event, not because of the situation, not because of the people. Stress is because of the individual's evaluation. If I am having self-efficacy and I'm confident about my skill, I don't develop stress for the things because I can do that. If I am having problem-solving ability, I can manage stress. So stress is not because of environmental factors. So corona happened to everybody. But some people, everybody's reaction differed. Why? Because of their evaluation of the corona. Some people are proactive people. who had taken the advantage of that corona time by learning something, by improving themselves, and by growing themselves. Some people are reactive personalities. They reacted to that and they became sick. They developed mental disorders, depression, and all the things, and aggression, violence too. So, corona is same for all. How you react is important. How you evaluate is important. Like that, the stress management. So, stress has become part of our life in the present social scenario. Hence, what you have to do is you have to learn certain of the mechanisms. What is the thing is doing some exercise, doing some physical activity will definitely help you to come out of the impact of stress on your body. Impact of stress on your body. Do some physical exercise at physical level. At the psychological level, find the reasons for your activity. Find the reasons with your intellect. You can find some understanding. And social level, you can take the support and reduce your stress. Social level, you can take support and reduce your stress. And spiritual level is also you can use for managing your stress. But one method is not sufficient. You have to use all the four at physical level, at a psychological level, at a social level, and spiritual level. You have to use all the techniques to manage stress in the present scenario. To manage stress in the present scenario. If you manage your stress, you will become resilient. You will become resilient. So these are the 5 things which you have to promote, which you have to aware the people to develop resilience or make it as part of their daily routine, either in schools. Problem solving abilities is important, and developing attachments by caring. Some of the activities you can give for caring the other children, helping others. You can have helping boards on the schools. Whatever help I do, the children do, they will go and write on this. This is the help I did. I helped so and so person. Like that. So by using, there are several activities to promote these 5 things for individual resilience. This is the first level of resilience. So everybody should have to learn about this resilience activities. As a psychologist, our role is, unless the individual is resilient, you cannot make the community resilient. So this is the first system you have to adapt to develop resilience at individual level as a psychologist. Then the second is more, you have to address the more vulnerable groups. Among the more vulnerable groups, now the number is more is the adolescents who are being affected with the changes, with the stressors, whatever is that, they are being more affected. In India, more youth are committing suicides because they are not resilient. So what you have to do for these adolescents, this is another activity. First is individual level. These are the things to promote at schools, at individual communities, and wherever there are, you have to promote this through different activities. Through different activities, because there is lack of time, I'm not able to describe you the activities which you can use for promoting this. Okay. Then coming to the adolescent level, you have to use peer support groups. This is the important thing. Peer support groups. In colleges, in schools, wherever you go, you have to develop peer support groups. Means you have to make them to develop the peer support groups. Means what is that? Sharing. So whenever you all might be having an experience of adolescent used to come for counseling, and they used to tell that, do you have any good friend? They used to say, no ma'am, I don't have any close friend to share your agony or to share your pain and happiness. They said, nobody is there, ma'am. When Parents used to tell, my son won't stay at home. Always he roams on the road. But this child is telling that he didn't have any close friend. So if you have a close friend, sharing takes place. You have to promote peer support groups. Peer support groups means what whoever they you have to tell them the advantages of peer support groups. Whoever they like, they can make a group and common experiences. They will have challenges with whom they can trust one person, one or two persons with whom they can share their uh, common experiences, and support one another. One another, they have to support each other. So these groups prepare a safe place for members. So everybody knows the other member and they are sharing the activities so that they will have a safe place for all the members to share their stories. And this encouragement, and they will grow together so that they can have, if I am having a problem, if I am having a peer group, if I share with them, then I will get if you share your pain with other person, it reduces to 50%. If I share my happiness with others, it doubles. It doubles. In this scenario, we are not supposed to hear. So, peer support group should be encouraged in colleges so that they will have very good friends. This is for adolescents. So for sharing experiences, these are used for sharing experiences, mutual aid, safe place, and feeling their experiences. And these are the support groups. Whenever one person is in peer support groups, on this also, peer support networks, this also a lot of research was conducted and found that these peer groups, support groups, will definitely help the other person. They learn so many things in helping others. Sharing others, they learn so many things. So this is about, so we have to make them to develop groups. So the research showed that during the corona period, only the people who are having support, who are being associated with groups, they are able to manage the crisis situation more effectively than any other people. More effectively than any other people. Hence, having groups is more important. Being associated with people which gives support. Ours is a collective society, whereas some of the societies, Western countries, they are individualistic societies. Ours is a collective society, but we are transforming it into individuals because of what I can say that we are running towards the rapid changes in the society. And running after society, we are losing some of the basic things. So social support is the basic thing by which you can manage global crisis situations. Global crisis situation. Even the people who are having many friends, many close friends, and who they are having attached, are having less number of problems, less number of psychological issues because they share with others. The sharing is very, very important. So for adolescents level, encourage peer support groups in schools as well as make them 4 or 5, not big groups. Peer support groups are close friends together. Have a close friend with whom they can exchange their ideas, So this is for peer support groups. And then other important thing is the community psychologists. The community psychologist is very important in developing resilience among communities. So there are many NGOs are working among the group. I think there are many NGOs who are working towards this mental health. and where these community psychologists who played a major role in the development of community. So what they will do is they have to encourage, they promote collective activities. There are people who collective activities, if you do together, it brings some attachment among the people. You can see so many groups in our community also. There are faith groups who used to go to temples. There some other activity. There are some people who are helping others. So you please observe the people who are in groups, walking groups, they used to go for walk together. So whenever you are in a group, you feel more comfortable and you are resilient. Whenever you are having some problem, you feel that there is somebody to support me. This support is very important. So community support is also very important. So as a community psychologist, you have to encourage group activities, not individual activities. Collective activities, promoting collective activities and facilitating social networks. Social networks. Different types of groups. So already it has started in the society. After COVID, it was enhanced also. Different types of groups. And they share their ideas. This, whenever we are in a crisis situation, this support groups they don't solve our problems. They will support us so that which enhances our resilience. Which enhances our resilience. Don't think the support group will solve all my financial problems. No, they will support you. They will support you. So, developing, facilitating social networks. This is also the role of the community psychologists for global resilience. Developing, promoting collective activities and developing social networks. Social networks. Then the NGOs, the government may not appoint community psychologists in the present scenario, but the NGOs can take a role of a community psychologist, and because you are taking resilience as a global issue, and use them for developing this group activities, group games. So there are many communities, they play in a colony, they make community, they make some group activities, and that is a group activities group. You have to promote them. Then some of the coalition building activities also the psychologist has to do in the community to develop community psychologists, to develop community activities. Among them, the first activity is advocacy groups. So mental health advocacy groups. These are the group of people who promote mental health and who share mental health activities around the community. So mental health advocacy groups. Like that, there are groups, there are organizations, what they are doing, NGOs are doing community work. So mental health awareness groups. People do not know what mental health is at present, many of the places. They feel they are even they are having stigma of talking about mental health also. When I announced a meeting on mental health, this is the word I used, mental health. Then for the non-teaching staff, nobody returned for the meeting. Nobody attended the meeting. I don't know this. When I asked why you don't come, then they said, we are not mental, madam, we are normal. So that's why we thought it is not for us. So there is still stigma existing about the word mental. So you have to make them to understand the mental health activities. Then there are groups who can do suicide prevention groups. Now there are a number of groups who are organizing suicide prevention activities. And thirdly, programs for vulnerable groups. Who are the vulnerable groups in the society? Are the women, elderly people, and some of the street children. These are the vulnerable groups. For they can be affected by crisis situation more, and they cannot have the they are more vulnerable to this crisis. Hence, we have to address them. Elderly people, do some of the programs for elderly people to build their psychological strength and for their well-being. So, and guidance and support groups. These are the groups which you should have to promote the resilience in communities. So, I told you as a psychologist, because UN Psychology Day, the principles and research of psychology to be used for the purpose of global resilience. This is the title, global resilience. Global resilience also starts with individual. Hence, I told you about the activities which are related to individual, how to build individual resilience and how to build resilience to the adolescent groups by developing peer support groups. This is very, very important. So most research proved that peer support groups has an excellent impact on the students, especially in the college and intermediate students. Peer support is very important because they are undergoing so many problems for which academic problems, biological problems, and pressures from the society. So many things for which the solution is they will have the peer support groups. They are doing extremely well. The students who are having peer support groups. Then I told you about this community psychologist role in developing activities, community developing activities, collective activities in the community, and also developing social networks. This is one activity. And the second activity is advocating mental health. They have to arrange community. Psychologist has to arrange programs on suicide prevention activities, mental health promoting activities, and also some of the programs for vulnerability, depending upon the situation. They have to give support when there are floods. So many people, psychologists are supporting. This is a crisis situation. This is when there is a crisis situation, psychologists are supporting. Now, we are preparing the people for crisis. So, prior to that, we are preparing the people to address the crisis situation. So that this is one step ahead along with this. So how do you get global issues, global resilience? We are leveling at 4 levels. We are telling the 5th level is by the policymakers. They have to, they should develop preparedness. They should develop preparedness among the people, and they should promote access to the resources, and they should provide social support, and they have to give some community powers and leadership. With all this, the powers, which is not in the psychologist's role, but the government and the policymakers should also help. A psychologist should suggest some of the activities to the policymakers for promoting this type of activities to develop resilience among the community. So lastly, I'm saying only one thing. These are the activities as a psychologist you have to do to promote resilience at the global level. So one more important thing what I am going to tell, last thing is developing psychological capital. Everybody knowing about there is a financial capital is there. Now I am talking about every individual has to develop psychological capital. This is most important thing. Earlier, long back, people used to say knowledge is power. If you are knowledgeable, you can succeed everywhere. No, that trend has gone. If you are then after globalization, the next level is skills have become very important. Skill is the capital. Knowledge is power. Skill is the capital. Now the third thing is I am telling you is psychological capital, which is very, very important. What is psychological capital is every individual has to develop psychological capital, which consists of, everybody knows about this is a positive psychologist concept. it is briefly, it can be told as hero concept, HERO. Crisis situations do occur, no doubt in it. In this situation, you have to develop your psychological capital. Is HERO. H stands for hope. You should be hopeful. What is hope means? Whatever is the situation, you will plan and try to achieve the goal. You will do systematic way to achieve the goal. This is hope. Hope is the first thing. hero, HERO. E stands self-efficacy. Efficacy, I told you, having the skills and being confident about your skills. You should be confident about your skills. R represents resilience. What we are talking all about, it is bouncing back. Resilience. O stands for optimism. Optimism is a thought. Yes, future will be better. This is the optimistic thought should be there. To read, because of the optimistic thought, you have to write down the hope, HERO. H is hope, E is efficacy, self-efficacy, being confident about. If you read, being confident about your abilities, then we will have resilience. If you are hopeful, you are resilient. And HERO, R stands for resilience. And O stands for optimism. Optimism is the thought. Thought is the base for our behavior. If you are optimistic, you go on trying. So you should develop hero concept. This is the psychological capital. This is the psychological capital. This is the capital every individual should have. He should have whatever is the situation in the uncertain, rapidly growing society with number of changes and crises, unpredicted crisis situations which are being experiencing by people. You should have it psychological capital, that is hope, hero, efficacy, resilience, and also optimism, which makes live in a sustainable way. So these are the practical things you should promote as psychologists among the groups where you are working, whether with the students or in communities as community psychologists. So NGOs who are working can take the role of a community psychologist. One of the us can take the role of a community psychologist. And there are so many things you can do in community because we are being contributing to global issues. Community issues are important. So these are with these things. So I will end. These are the 5 things: individual level, adolescent level, and at social level, and also building coalition activities, and also developing psych